everyone. My name is Juanita Clark, and I'm the Chief Executive Officer of the Digital Council Africa. For more information, please visit digitalcouncil.africa. Today is Youth Day, and it's a great pleasure for me to talk to you a little bit more about the digital economy and how that impacts on our youth. A critical conversation that must be had and certain things that must be said. COVID-19 has rapidly accelerated the process of digital transformation. In the last year and a bit, South Africa achieved a degree of digital adoption that would usually have taken years to achieve. In a time when we were still debating participation in the fourth industrial revolution, suddenly African countries found themselves firmly catapulted into the fourth industrial revolution. And while this is a positive development, it has the unintended consequence of further marginalizing those who already suffer from digital exclusion. The COVID-19 pandemic has highlighted the fact that the South African digital economy allows participation of a minority of the youth, while the majority is excluded due to lack of access to connectivity, the cost to communicate, and access to devices. If the last year taught us anything, it is that the digital divide, the gap that exists between youth who have access to modern information and communication technology and those who lack access, have exponentially increased. It is well accepted that the digital divide widens the gap between rich and poor, polarizing people within countries, enlarging the gap between developed countries and developing countries, hindering the development of developing countries, and it leads to digital supremacy. Also, the gap in access to and use of technology and the internet is both a cause and effect of poverty. Unsurprisingly, wealthier and educated youth are more likely to have access to digital resources, and those with limited online access options tend to be from lower income communities. A primary issue influencing the digital divide is its effect on education in disadvantaged communities. The potential of youth living in underserviced areas are therefore limited because internet access is not as obtainable as it is in more affluent areas. This results in a vicious cycle of youth from poorer communities not being able to transcend their circumstances because they simply do not have access to the technology that will enable them to access the World Wide Web and in turn participate in the digital economy. With the world growing at such a rapid rate, the internet and access to the internet becomes vitally important. For our youth, those with the ability and knowledge of the internet are set to rapidly progress, and considering the speedy advancement of technology today, the digital economy as a whole will rapidly increase over the next few years. It must be a grave concern to all of us that so many of our young people will not be able to participate in this economy. To solve this problem, policymakers need to address three interlinked areas, and here the digital divide is clearly categorized. But for the sake of time, I'm just going to briefly talk about them. Firstly, we need to ensure that our youth has access to stable connectivity, and this will include ensuring that high-speed broadband is deployed to underserviced communities. To do this, we must remove cumbersome and outdated processes that slows down deployment of high-speed broadband. Secondly, we need to ensure that connectivity is affordable. And again, here we need to lower the cost to communicate. In order to do that, we have to make it easier for operators to deploy telecommunications infrastructure. Municipalities need to charge reasonable fees for access, and also they need to allow for more cost-effective deployment methodologies. Thirdly, and very importantly, we need to ensure that young people are given access to smart devices. If we manage to sort out the first two problems, yet we still do not place a device in the hands of our young people, they will remain excluded from participation in the digital world. We have to ensure that devices that are no longer used are collected in a responsible manner and redistributed to underprivileged youth that can use them to continue their learning opportunities. It may seem simple, but solving these issues are complex and will require a certain effort by all stakeholders to find sustainable solutions that will ensure ubiquitous digital inclusion. But probably the most important issue today that we can address is that of urgency. We are already behind, and now is the time to accelerate our efforts so that we can bring all our young people together to equally participate in the digital economy. Thank you for joining me. In conclusion, I want to say that it is my pleasure this month to support the Black Business Council in the Built Environment Youth Chamber during their Youth Summit month. It's taking place on a virtual platform on the 23rd and the 24th of June, 2021. Because of the pandemic, unfortunately, we still will only do online events. But of course, everyone is available to attend, and please feel free to join us. For more information, please email youthsg@bbcbe.org. I want to thank you for your time, and I want to wish you an absolutely excellent Youth Day celebration. Thank you.